The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN Thursday morning, just after 9 a.m. Eastern Time, and we got markets. Positive territory for the S&P's, NASDAQ trading up 175 points, Dow slightly in the red this morning, and Tesla accelerating higher. We'll get into it all. We got gold accelerating higher as well, dollar pulling back a bit, and we kick it off. Check out that acceleration, almost right to the dot, 58.01 in the S&P's, and we are 64 points above there. You catch an acceleration yesterday afternoon. We finish at about 58.40, and right now we're trading up 27 points, or about 0.5% at 58.65 in the S&Ps. How about that NASDAQ 100, man? You were on your way to 20,000 yesterday. Not so fast. We're trading at 20,398. You're up by about 0.9% in the NASDAQ 100. Dow slightly in the red by 37 points in the Russell this morning, up by 8 at 22.35. Bitcoin up $1,100 at 67,480 right now. You got crude. Was above $72 briefly. We're trading at 71.17 this morning. And how about gold? Got to keep your eye on yields. Got to keep your eye on the dollar. We had dollar strength yesterday. Gold pulls back to about 27.25. You talk about it, man. It's almost like $50 down, $25 up. Remarkable volatility in gold, but we're seeing that volatility in notes and bonds and in the dollar especially. We got the 10-year right now, positive by 6 ticks. We're talking about a 10-year yield of 4.22%. 4.22. We were all the way to about 4.25 yesterday. Still not bad on the 10-year when you were thinking about we were as low as what? Almost 3.6%. We're now approaching 4.25% on the 10-year. And the dollar might be the most remarkable part of this whole market right now. Remarkable strength. We are pulling back a bit from where we were yesterday. You're still above 104. We're at 104.19. And yeah, let's take a look at that dollar, man. So, don't bet on this trend, but it could be a reversal. It's one day. We'll see how things play out. Thursday coming into Friday action tomorrow, of course. The dollar gives it up a bit. It's been quite a run. We're above that 618, but we are coming into this area of chop you had in July. Right about 104 to 104.60 in that area on the dollar, and that's right where we are right now at 104.19. You back things up on a little bit of a longer-term basis, right? And yeah, unfortunately, we couldn't talk to our man Teddy Kegstad yesterday. We talked to him on Wednesdays. We had some internet problems at the office. That seems to be resolved. But one of the things we always talk about is kind of the defined trading area, whether it's the dollar, the euro that we've been in. We're at 104.19. This is a weekly, and you can see, we are bumping up against it, man, whether you talk about the highs of early 2024, the area in 2023 in May. 106 is about that area technically that you really start to hit a ceiling on the dollar. We're trading at 104.18 right now in the bottom where we bounced 100. Maybe to 101. Yeah, that's the area of the floor. We'll see if we chop around. We're at 104 and change right now on that dollar index. All right, so let's jump to Tesla. The fanboys, they're liking it last night, man. And I kid, but yeah, pretty good numbers, man. To put it lightly for Tesla, they're popping. You're going to be up by about 15% on the open for Tesla shares. We're pushing 245 so far this morning. And yeah, let's take a look at this thing on a longer term basis. Then we'll get into the numbers. So we're trading at 245 right now. And what I will say is, let's just put it back on a daily first. 265, 268, you're looking to get short this equity. You got a triple top out there. It's going to take a lot to get through this 265 area. We're going to open at 245 today. Going to be quite a pop for Tesla shares. You were down about 15% for the year, and you're going to get that all back today. So Tesla's going to be break even for the year when we kick things off, and let's get into those numbers, man. As Bloomberg puts it, a blowout quarter, an upbeat outlook for 2025. They beat the estimates on earnings and auto profit margin. The Cybertruck is making money. Big quarter out there for sure. Expectation is going to be sky high when you're talking about an equity valued at approaching about $800 billion at this point, folks. $800 billion. But yes. So Cybertruck generated a profit for the first time. Lower material costs. Expanding energy business. Yeah, their tax credits. $787 million, I think was the number. I was reading through this earlier. Come on, where are you? There it is, $739 in revenue during the quarter from selling regulatory credits. Almost $1 billion in revenue in 90 days from selling credits. Whew. That's a good business to be in for sure. Yeah, this one's an interesting one, all right? Musk expects to go public next year with a ride-hailing app that employees have been testing out in San Fran. The company plans to launch first in California and Texas. A profound change. Tesla becomes more than sort of a vehicle and battery manufacturing company at that point. Now, you got Uber and Lyft down slightly, okay? So that is hitting them. It's going to be a difficult one, folks, for them to step into that market, okay? People are creatures of habit, and yes, you got a Tesla, right? You're going to be on that app. But ask yourself, who's going to open the Tesla app to hail a ride versus who's going to open the Uber app or even the Lyft app, right? Very difficult to get over that type of market-leading presence when you're talking about it. And then, of course, we get into robo-taxis. Now, so the Cybertruck first, okay? Tesla has not said how many trucks it's built or sold, but the U.S. recall documents show the company has delivered at least 27,000 of those Cybertrucks, even though they're not putting it out there yet. Musk reiterated that he expects Tesla to produce a robotaxi called the Cybercab in 2026. Folks, be careful when Elon's talking about what the companies are going to do 2 years out. Doesn't mean the stock's not going to go straight up, okay? This stock defies logic sometimes, okay? You got to keep that in mind when you're trading some of these equities where you really get some momentum stocks, meme stocks, for lack of a better word, and said the company will aim to make at least 2 million units annually without specifying when. Be careful of that. Tesla has yet to make that many cars across its entire lineup in a year. I think it's at least 2 million units a year, maybe 4 million, he said. And then he says, these are just my best guesses, okay? Any other CEO, just have to bring some context to it, okay? CEOs aren't supposed to be on that thing saying, I'm just guessing, okay? Very rarely would you hear a CEO in any other conference call say something to that degree of, I'm just guessing. And he's guessing on an optimistic side, and he's allowed to do that as the CEO. Folks, I don't know how that's going to play out. I've talked about it before. I'm not jumping in a robotaxi first. Yes, there's going to be many that are going to do it, but to rationalize a almost approaching $1 trillion valuation for this equity, just think about that on the long-term basis, okay? Just think about that on a long-term basis. Yeah. I was jumping around here. I wanted to jump quarterly revenue by segment, okay? Folks, they're a growth stock. Their quarterly revenue is somewhat stuck, okay? You got to be careful out here when you're talking about where you are. Automotive revenue is the big one, talking about $20 billion from 19.6. But look at these numbers chopping around, okay? Look at these numbers chopping around. That is stagnated growth. Now, yes, this was a good quarter, but just be careful on these equities, man. We'll talk a little bit more about it. Yeah, we'll finish this conversation up with Tesla. You got some other equities to take a look at. You got gold trading higher yet again. Stay tuned, folks. I'm coming right back. If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This portion of the Morning Market Kickoff is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Welcome back, folks. We get the S&P's up 27 points right now, trading 58.64. NASDAQ charging higher. Tesla going to give those equities a lift for sure. You're up by, $31. You're pushing 15%. You're trading at $244. You're approaching an $800 billion. What are we at right now? $779 billion valuation for Tesla shares. And the last part of this conversation, which of course is hanging out there, when's that cybercap coming? Right? When is it coming? What is interesting here, all right, politics merge with Elon. We know that is the case, man. Spent a brief portion of the webcast discussing what he might do in a second potential Trump administration. This is where I don't understand it, folks. I'm not jumping into a Tesla anyway, and I'm definitely not jumping into a Tesla, okay, if Elon is part of the government approval process to making sure his vehicles are on the road. They can get approved, all right? There are autonomous vehicles on roads, whether it's Waymo, etc., taking people already, folks. The last thing I want is Elon influencing, nothing to do with politics, okay? Nothing to do with politics, but I do not want any car company influencing the regulatory process of self-driving vehicles. Now, yes, they can be safer, and they will be safer. But boy, in the beginning, it's going to be interesting, to put it lightly. After calling for a federal approval process for autonomous vehicles, there is already a potential federal approval process. Okay, you just have to get through it, folks. He's going to try and make that happen. Of course he is. He's going to try and make that happen no matter what. I'm not sure I want him influencing the process as somebody who's the richest man in the world, who would benefit. There's two fine lines there, all right? I hope you can separate those two of wanting it to happen, but think about what it would take for you personally to jump in that vehicle, okay? It's going to take a lot. This is going to be a process of trust for society. To put it lightly, right? Yeah, to put it lightly. All right, we jump around to what else we got going on. Let's check out some Boeing. So Boeing, they turned down the latest offer. The vote was 64-35. I think the most previous vote before that was like 94%. So 94. The opposition this time was smaller than the overwhelming 94% vote, so they're getting there. As time pushes on and the strain weighs on those workers who are not working, it matters, to say the least, right? You're down to 152.89 on the rejection of that offer, and that offer was a 35% pay increase over 4 years. They were talking about bonuses in there as well. Part of that had to do with locking in production in the Pacific Northwest as well. Let's get into it. Where is it? Come on. All right, I got to find that. But yes, there's always the nuances, right? There's always the details in these big types of union deals with companies here. But it's not happening just yet. And forgive me, I got to find that part. Now I'll find it afterwards. All right, maybe it was in the CNBC one. Here it is. It was in the CNBC one. So, increased 401k contributions, a $7,000 bonus, 35% pay increase, okay? Some machinists, this is the one that keeps sticking, man, which is a tough one because it's not going to happen, were upset about losing their pension plan in a previous contract that they signed in 2014. Okay, now, this is an article from 2014. I was digging up this morning saying, I got to figure out what's in this 2014 contract. Now, So this is the 2014 article, folks, okay? January of 2014. Boeing workers approve an 8-year contract extension. That's what we're looming on right now. Okay, now the kicker here is they barely got that one through, 51-49. So you can see the type of resentment when half of their workers that signed the 2014 deal were not on board. That's what's carrying through here. So it's going to be a difficult one when you think about the fact that you have half of your machinists, okay, already probably upset to a certain degree. Now, what the kicker is here, okay, when we jump around, check out these two, square the two, and you're going to understand where some of the animosity lies with the workers and with the company, however it goes. But you got disagreements that are laying out there. The reason why this deal got done in 2014 was because Boeing started reaching out to different states looking for potential packages to bring their production to different states. And everybody in Washington said, oh, hold on, we better get back to the table, okay? They approved it 51-49 in 2014. And what happened, though, is that they rejected a similar deal at the end of 2013 by a 2-to-1 margin, all right? Many Boeing workers changed their stance and backed the deal when Boeing started soliciting offers from other states. That's how business works, okay? The company said 22 states back then in 2014 had offered to assemble the 777X, some offering billions of dollars in subsidies. The workers said, we better get back to the table. And this is almost how it's supposed to work, okay? As in, we've seen how unions can get out of control with the car companies and bring them down, okay? But the car companies made bad concessions. They made bad concessions back then. They shouldn't have made those concessions when the deals they were doing. Boeing's trying to avoid that right now. It is a difficult battle. What is so interesting, I find, okay, is that, okay, so the tipping point here in 2014 was that they said, okay, we're going to come to the table. We turned down the offer on a 2-to-1 margin, but guess what? Things are real here. You're thinking about bringing it to other states. We're going to approve that deal. And you have a lot of talk in this article. Washington's governor, Jay Inslee, there he is, said Friday, tonight Washington secured its future as the aerospace capital of the world. Okay, now, you get back into the Boeing article here, okay? Boeing agreed in the new contract that they're trying to push through, this is the one we're at right now, to build its next aircraft in the Pacific Northwest, which had been a sticking point after Boeing moved all of its 787 Dreamliner production to a non-union factory in South Carolina. So square those two, right? You have the 2014 deal. They come to the table making sure they're keeping the production of the 777 in Washington. Meanwhile, over the last 10 years, I don't know how that happened. In that last union negotiation, was this part of it? I don't know. But either way, they moved all that production to a non-union factory in South Carolina. How was that allowed in the last contract? Well, devil's in the details. I'm sure that they knew that was a possibility when you're dealing with the types of lawyers they're dealing with, right? But it is interesting. They make that deal in 2014. And yeah, one of the other parts of this, of course, was they're talking about whether it's a pension or what it is, right? That's not happening, folks. That's gone. Pensions aren't around right now, and that's just, if that's a deal, that's going to be a sticking point. But you see the difficulty in these deals where they go back 10 years. You're talking about pay increases. They come to the table in 2014 thinking that they're locking in Washington after Boeing was going to 22 other states looking for subsidies. And then somehow it's just like a footnote in the article right now that they moved all that production of the 787 to a non-union factory, and they're going to bring it back. So there's a lot at stake here, but they still have some ways to go. Boeing down $5 at the open. Coming back for the open, folks. Stay tuned. Be right back.
The consistency you're looking for is closer than you think. 1 or 2 adjustments are usually all you need to change your equity curve from red to green and keep it there. Come join Larry Pesavento live to learn what separates the winners from the losers. Join Larry Pesavento on the 2nd and 4th Friday of every month for 3 hours of live trading from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time, where Larry will show you the market setting up and, most important of all, the state of mind of a winning trader. By watching Larry trade, you'll learn the Fibonacci levels, you'll learn how to apply A to B to C to D trading patterns, you'll learn trade management, pattern recognition, and much more. Join Larry October 11th and 25th for more live trading action. Your purchase goes towards 2 sessions, so make sure to sign up now so you don't miss a chance to sit next to Larry as he trades the market live. For all information and to reserve your spot today, go to the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
The stock market is a delicate, interconnecting web of commodities, equities, and trader psychology. When one string of the web is pulled, it has a ripple effect across the broader market. This is where opportunity lies. But how are you to gather all of this information into one cohesive model when you're already spending your energy looking for any possible trade opportunities? Luckily, you don't have to worry about that, as Tom O'Brien has brought all important market news to you in one single newsletter, Market Insights. Market Insights provides a daily overview of what's happening in the indexes, bonds, gold, and more. Follow along with Tom daily as he analyzes the components that affect the overall movement of the stock market, giving insight into how each one plays either a bullish or bearish role. Tom also analyzes specific equities that he believes has the potential to make huge returns, and his track record proves his analysis right. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Don't let the market leave you in the dust.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
welcome back, folks. We got markets open, and you got the S&Ps pulling back a little bit from those highs we had pre-market. A little bit of a sell-off coming in. We were all the way up to almost 58.70. Right now, we're trading up 15 points. That's 0.25% in the positive on the S&Ps. 58.53. NASDAQ 100, we're up 133 points, about 0.7% in the positive right now. And let's jump over and see how this market's trading. We're talking about Tesla shares right now. Up 14.3% at 244.38 this morning. We jump over to those Boeing shares. On that rejection of the most recent contract vote, down 2.5% for Boeing shares. And yeah, we jump around to some others. I talked about Uber. They pull back a little bit, as well as Lyft. As I mentioned, folks, I don't think, now listen, longer term, okay, yeah, you better believe it's possible. But in the short term, and I'm talking about in the next year or two, very difficult to imagine that Tesla is going to have a concrete impact on the ride hailing of something like Uber. You know, you talk about, I picked it up myself. One of the coolest parts about Uber is it's just so big at this point, right? You pick up that app, you open it, there's, for lack of, you know, there's just many vehicles everywhere, and they're always available, especially in any type, I want to say city environment, where I am in Lakeland, small city, Central Florida, right? There's Ubers everywhere. They're here within 10 minutes. Very difficult to imagine how Tesla's going to reach that level. Now, are they going to employ different cars, or is it just going to be Teslas? Very difficult. Uber down by 2.5%. What I will say in Uber is they're a little bit extended potentially above that channel line we had, and you might see it come back if you're looking for potentially a spot. What I do love about trading these channels is you're either right or you're wrong. Your back's against the wall, and you know, you get down to this channel, you're going to look to purchase, you know where to put your stop, okay? So watch these channels. You see where it bounced off that channel back in September. You're up to 87. Uber off 2.7% today as this market slides a little bit lower on the open right now. S&P's just up by 10. Lyft up by 1.5% right now. We check back in on that dollar index, DXY, 104.12. We take a look at the gold contract, up $26 on a weekly basis. It's just not stopping, folks. And I talked about this a while back, okay? We're going to take a little bit of a segment on gold right now. All right. There are so many one-to-one moves on this gold contract that we're talking about right now. I mean, it's almost difficult to find any type of a pullback, but this could be one. All right, you make that first move from February up to 24.50. And what is interesting is, look where we are, folks. All right, we're almost exactly at a 1-to-1, and that's from the move in February up to the highs of 24.50 in about mid-April. You pull back slightly, and then you do it all again, and that just almost pegs it to the dollar. You might chop around for a little bit here, okay? A little bit. Now, you go a little bit longer term. That was the first acceleration, okay? Now, you go a little bit longer term, and this is where it is difficult, but watch this. All right? I'm going to zoom in here. Excuse me. All right, and I'm going to talk about, maybe it's this move. We'll go here. It's basically the same thing. Yeah, that's well above it already. Man, this market. So you're greater than the 1-to-1 for that move you had from 2018 up to the highs and back down, okay? But the one that's really laying out there, folks, and this is the coolest one of all, is you're talking about basically, you cherry pick the lows out here, right around when my dad started his gold report. He always had this big time knack of just nailing bigger moves, man, whether it was real estate, gold. I remember him talking about starting the gold report. It's a 1-to-1 move, and that is a move, folks, from the beginning of about 260 up to the highs of 2011 of about 19, what is the actual high? 1917 there? 1923, that's right. You pull back, and you do it all again, and we're right there. So we're bumping up to a big area here. I'm going to take this one off, but we are bumping up against a critical area on that gold contract. Doesn't mean you can't just blow through it with an acceleration, but we'll see how we move up to that price level. You got the dollar moving lower today, and we've talked about where the market's pricing yields, right? When the market is pricing yields right now, seems much more reasonable in terms of where they're talking about yields will be in the next 4 to 6 months, as opposed to when we had 7-8 cuts priced into this market over the next 6 meetings. Very difficult to imagine that was going to be the path, and yeah, it doesn't look like that was going to be the case. You got Newmont out with their numbers. They got a conference call starting pretty soon. They're talking about Newmont in the den. You got it, man. They had their numbers out last night. They trade a little bit lower. Newmont down 5.3%. You take a longer-term chart on this one. It's been a one-way trip from $29 up to almost $60 this year. But you're pulling back a little bit on their numbers right now, overnight. You jump over the XAU. Let's put this one on a daily. You talk about it, man. Higher highs, higher lows. You push 170.75.94 earlier this week. We're just off that price level. You jump over the HUI. You talk about it, right? Higher highs, higher lows. You're trading at 345.52 for the HUI so far this morning. We jump over to crude. 71.46. Price of light sweet crude this morning. All right, let's jump around to some other equities that are moving this morning. Southwest. Tops profit estimates as cost cuts take hold. Revenue better than expected in the third quarter, and they reached an agreement with the Elliott investor. The CEO is going to stay on. They got, I think it's 6 new board members. Let's see, what do they got? Yeah. Where are they? I think it is. 6 new board members. Come on, where are you? New board members and avoid a proxy battle. I think it's 6 new board members they're bringing in. But yeah, the CEO is going to stay on. Fourth quarter revenue for each seat flown a mile will increase as much as 5.5% from where it was in 2023. The market was looking for about a 3.5% increase. That's a big one. Bookings for winter holiday season have been strong, demonstrating the continued resilience of the leisure travel market. You out there leisure traveling, folks? Seems like everybody else is. LUV is their symbol. And yeah, the market says, what have you done for me lately? We wanted more. You're down by 3.5%. You jumped all the way up to 32.60. We're back to 29.62. You jump over from American. With their numbers, choppy market. We're up by 1.8% right now to $13 for American. Delta, on the volatility of those airlines, slightly in the positive, up by about 0.9%. You jump over to JetBlue shares. Watch out for this one. I love JetBlue. They've been a little bit dicey, for lack of a better term, recently, man. But it is remarkable, folks. I moved down to Florida in, I want to say 2003 or 2004. They had come into the Tampa market. The Boston market was big, but when they came into Tampa, they had some amazing fares early on, right? Coming into a new market. You talk about some volatility, though, man. Be careful of this equity because, yeah, you're catching a bid off the lows. Okay, that's the daily. You're trading at 718, but we are bumping up against this technical area of about $7.50 for JetBlue. So you're looking to be a JetBlue investor, folks. Watch that area of 750 because, as you can see, right, it's a critical area we've been bumping up against for some time right now, and you're trading lower yet again from that area of about $7.50 for JetBlue. We check back in on Tesla, see how they're digesting the numbers. Yeah, they're digesting it. You know, if you're looking for the next stop for Tesla, man, it's going to be this 265 area, I think, for Tesla. That's the area you started the year off at. That's where you were in July. That's where you were in the beginning of October, and we're coming back to that area. Tesla up by $35 or 16.5% today. Big numbers, man. S&P's up by 11. Stay tuned, folks. We'll come back. We'll talk a little bit of inflation. We'll talk a little bit of rates. We'll be right back, folks.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey. Because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the Opening Call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds for both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. We get the market holding pretty much where we kicked off. S&P's barely in the positive by 10 points, trading at 58.47. NASDAQ 100. We're up by 110 points. We jump around to some of the big dogs. Apple shares slightly in the red by 0.6% this morning. Microsoft down 0.2%. You jump over to Amazon shares up by about 0.4%. Google negative by almost 1% at 162. We jump over to NVIDIA. Just doesn't stop for NVIDIA, man. You are bumping against this area of about 140. You're trading at 140.66. That's the area that you made a previous all-time high back in June of 140.76, almost to the penny where we are right now. But you got NVIDIA up by about 0.8% right now. And we jump over to some jobless claims we get this morning. Initial jobless claims, we're right back to where we were pre-hurricane levels. Yeah, we got a couple hurricanes, man. We know about it in Florida. And I tell you, folks, we were dealing with it yesterday. I apologize for not being on our YouTube stream yesterday because we just had the internet company out there working on nodules, is what they were saying. But Joey, you drive around the area, folks, there is debris everywhere still in Florida because it has been quite a task, whether you're talking about near the coast, but inland, trees everywhere. Okay, we're still rebuilding here, but things normalizing a bit as new applications for benefits, 227,000 was the initial number, decreasing by 15,000. The market was looking for 242, so you basically come in light. The impact of Hurricane Helene seems to be dissipating more rapidly than feared, which is a positive sign that the economic impact of the hurricane is not mushrooming through the region. And that's the chief U.S. economist at Santander U.S. Capital Markets, Stephen Stanley. And yeah, the one thing to keep in your mind, though, is continuing claims. Okay, there's an uptick there, man, on continuing claims. 1.897 million is the number. Remember, continuing claims 1 week delayed versus initial. Okay, so we get initial claims as of the week ended October 19th. Is that right? Yes. And we get continuing claims is the number week ended October 12th. So yeah, you get a downtick, but boy, you look at the trend, okay? And the trend since the beginning of this year is higher highs and higher lows. And it's higher highs and higher lows on a continuing basis as well. You know the Fed's watching that. You know they are. Yeah, you get the 4-week moving average at about 238,000. Before adjusting for seasonal factors, initial claims fell last week in North Carolina, Georgia, and Tennessee. States that were impacted by Helene. In Florida, claims rose. Yeah, that's a big one in Florida, folks. I mean, I'm telling you, there is stuff everywhere, all over the place, so not hard to imagine that it is still having an impact. Yeah, you get Tesla rallying, to say the least. Let's check back in on Tesla shares. Yeah, up by about 16.7%. As I mentioned, probably coming up to this 265 area, man. You're up by $36 today almost. You're up by almost 17% as Tesla delivers in a strong way. Yeah, we check back in on Newmont. Newmont shares. Yeah, we spike and we're coming right back into that low of 53.60. We make it. We're trading at 54.01 right now for Newmont shares. We check back in on the dollar. A little bit of a bid. Keep your eye on that dollar, man. Because, boy, we've had quite a run in yields. Okay, the yields right now, we're sitting at a price level. Let's see where we're at right now. Yeah, we're sitting at a price level of 111.04, and that's translating to a yield of above 4.23%. It's a strong yield, man, 4.23%. But it makes sense where this market is, folks. Okay, where equities are, where profits are, where margins are, 4.25%. That for the cost of capital. I think many businesses can afford a 10-year yield of 4.25%, and we're seeing that with the market pushing all-time highs of above 58.43. All right, we jump around to some other equities. GM, strong numbers earlier this week. We're up by about 0.9% right now for GM. We jump over to Toyota. Toyota down about 0.2% right now. We were at 168 earlier in the week. And yeah, we check back in on some of those airlines as well. American holding on to the gains, up by 2.4%. And you got Southwest. Pretty interesting that they end the activist investor woes, but not delivering what the market wanted, as you're down by 3%. And then we keep our eye on Boeing shares. Boeing off 2.2%, following the union rejecting their latest deal for Boeing shares. All right. Checking back in on some of those stocks. We got Qualcomm up by about 0.4%. ARM basically flat this morning. And as I mentioned, NVIDIA shares, they give it back a bit, but you're still up by about 0.3% for NVIDIA shares. Yeah, Amazon up by 0.3%. You know, it is remarkable delivery, folks, right? We check out Walmart. We were talking about earlier in the week, Walmart's going to start delivering prescriptions to your home in 6 states. I think it's later this year. They're going to bring it to everybody early next year. Last night, I was ordering something on Amazon, and the option was for it to be here from 4 a.m. till 8 a.m. in the morning. It is remarkable when you think about it. I can order something at almost midnight. I think it was 11 o'clock at night. And they tell me it can be to my door between 4 and 8 in the morning. What I will say is that item that they said would be delivered between 4 and 8 in the morning, it showed up at 8:20 in the morning at my house. I said, hey, Bezos, you said it would be here between 4 and 8 in the morning. I get on the air at 9 o'clock. What if I wanted it here by 8? It got here at 8:20 in the morning. So it's not quite streamlined just yet. But yeah, Amazon, Walmart, it's all about process. It's all about delivery, and they continue. This market's giving it up a little bit, though, right now. Look at this trade, 58.45. We're dropping since that open. Just checking out. Yeah, we popped above the 618, and we're trailing a little bit lower. This market giving it up right now on price. S&P's only up by 6. NASDAQ 100 up by 79. We check out those big dogs. Yeah, they're always driving the action, man. Apple now down more than 1%. Microsoft, they're dropping off almost $3 on the open. Amazon holding on slightly to those gains in Google shares. Ooh, watch out, man. And what would be happening in this market if Tesla wasn't up 17% right now? I mean, that's approaching a trillion dollar company that's up almost 17%. You're pushing 800 billion. Okay, what do we got? Yeah, 3 billion shares outstanding. Man. Yeah, so they added about $100 billion in market cap overnight. Remarkable. All right, we checked back in on that gold contract this morning. Gold, $27.48. We're up by $19 right now on the gold contract, and we check out the VIX, all right? Quite a spike yesterday in that market sell-off. This VIX has been very comfortable near 20, no matter what this market is doing, man. You know, forget about the days when the VIX was chopping around at 12. We're pushing all-time highs, and there's a new calibration of risk premium in this market. You like that one? New calibration of risk premium. There is. This is not usually how it goes in terms of the market. Testing all-time highs. We're sitting at 1916, but there is a lot of volatility coming down the line, whether you're talking about an election less than 2 weeks away. You're talking about inflation on our minds, the Fed, the cutting path, where we go. A lot of volatility in this market. The VIX right now down 10 pennies, sitting at 19.14 as the market's clinging on to positive gains so far. But we have yet to find a bid this morning on the open as we're back at 58.45 positive by about 7 points in the S&Ps. All right, folks, stay tuned. We'll come back. We got one more segment. Don't forget, our man Larry Pesavento, he's got live trading coming up tomorrow, folks. You can check that out on the front page of TFNN. We'll be right back, folks.
The Gold Report. As a precious metal, gold is still king. It continues to hold the most effective safe haven and hedging properties across the global major trading hubs of the London OTC market, the U.S. futures market, and the Shanghai Gold Exchange. The Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his weekly gold report every Monday morning for subscribers, consisting of coverage of the XAU, HUI, GDX, the dollar, bonds, the South African rand, as well as 25 different mining equities with specific buy-sell recommendations. The Gold Report. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. Subscribe to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report newsletter now at TFNN.com.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. A must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. We got the S&Ps up by 11, NASDAQ 100 up by 107. You got IBM. So we'll go short-term first. IBM out with their numbers last night. We're testing the lows that we got on that spike. IBM down about 5.7%. But, man, an ode to our man, Bud Rolfs. Miss him, love him. Love you, Bud. This is like the best textbook chart of a channel when you talk about both directions on a larger time frame, and you retest on multiple levels. So first you have a downtrend channel, right? Starts in 2012. You break out of this channel, late 2022. And what did Bud always say? It's not, you don't buy the breakout, folks. What do? You wait for it to come back and retest. Look at this perfect retest you got in the middle of 2023. Now, on a little bit of a shorter term basis, okay, zooming in on the blue lines here, you could make the case that, okay, it starts forming an uptrend channel in the beginning of 2020, even though it's still in that downtrend. And what do you do on the uptrend channel? Okay, what do? You break above it in the beginning of this year. Is that the buy? No, that's not the buy. Let it retest. It tests. That was the buy at 165, and you ran all the way up to 237. Now, what I'll say is, be careful, because you might be coming back for another test, man. You just dropped about $20 on this equity this month alone. You're at 219. They're down by 5.5% on their numbers. But you ever want to check out some great channels, man, pull up IBM, okay? Pull it up, put it on a monthly, and just, play with that chart, because you can see well-defined. I've had these on there for a long time, and it's just so cool when they come back and they test like that, because, again, your back's against the wall when you're talking about where you are in these trades. At least you know if you're right or wrong. You got a trading plan, right? And that's always nice when you got a trading plan. We jump around to some other companies with their numbers. Lam Research, you're up by 2.8% so far on Lam. On their numbers, what else we got going on? Yeah, Mattel's out with their numbers. Chopping around, up by 3.6%. Yeah, mixed third quarter, but they beat on revenue. They're slightly miss. They're close. Looks like expectations were everything. T-Mobile up by 3.8%. We finish it up with Tesla up by 17%. Folks, thanks so much for kicking off your trading day right here. Don't forget, Larry Pesavento. He's got live trading going on tomorrow. Check that out on the front page at TFNN. And I'll see you tomorrow morning, folks. Have a great one.